All right, here we go again. Buckle up. So I don't know what sets them off. My family, they're definitely killing the really big people. A lot of people are asleep. I tried to explain stuff to Monica Maurice as to why she would be a target and why she doesn't need a church to save her. But they got her. Right. Like for Monica Maurice, she would keep going. You see how I stopped going and said, no, you're devils? Right. She would keep going. And now she wouldn't be homeless, one for them. Right. We'd probably all still be living in Santa Fe, one for them. They're drug dealers and stuff. Cops work for drug dealers. It's just a bottom line. All right, so we're going to go over pattern and practice now and some other things. So what's happening is you're being set up by somebody. Could be somebody in your administration. Remember, there are people out there that can promise people in your community that they'll be, like twice the millionaire they are today. And all they have to do is lead you in the wrong direction. But there's also spycraft leading you in the wrong direction. They're seeing how you react to things online that come past you, things that they say in the public. And they definitely are double agents. And they'll tell you, don't listen to me. I'm not the originator of these things. And, he stole from the Marshal Service data, or not data, their knowledge base, and they just trickled it back to us. And that's bullshit. Marshal Service, if I look back, and I really realized what they were doing, they set me up for failure. But every time I didn't fail, I became angrier. And nobody told me anything. Matt Burke, a little bit, but I mean, really a little bit. Almost like nothing, right? It's good that I went to the office. Anybody else probably would have been gone within a year. And they don't care. I mean, they're just lazy pieces of shit. Making millions of dollars for sitting on our ass doing nothing until it's time to kill somebody. Right. So yeah, they sexualized your community there. Or they're sexualizing it. Dump people in every place I went, and they say, they'll say he's fleeing the investigation. It's like some weirdo shit. Right. But I mean, they're just going to sexualize me all day while I'm sitting there trying to exercise. Right. I blocked a ton of them, but again, it takes down my ability to stay healthy. But we only have so much power in life, and they know it. They know they're burning everything. So my uncle was taken out too. My uncle, he said some stuff against God, which I really don't, I can't accept, but, per se. But he's part of the deep state. There's no doubt. They got him. In words, the deep state attacks him and destroys his life, but he accepts it. See, that's what they expect from me. They'll all learn in hell that they shouldn't expect anything ever again. So they took over they usually take over the religions and reverse them. And that's what they did. They're the devils that Yeshua ben David came to warn about. And the wolves in sheep's clothing. So they'll look like a sheep, but be a wolf. Now, the other person might look like a wolf, but be a sheep. Again, that's how you read the scriptures. But of course, you don't believe that because why? Because you're devils and you're just there for the money and for the good life. Some of them, I think, are atheists. I think a lot of people in churches are actually atheists. And they're there like a gang. They're part of a gang that rules the community, and they get money and they get way that they wouldn't have because they're just useless piece of shit devils and demons and things like that. So what you're all doing is you're setting up something that judges can slam you with. Now, there is going to be a time, most likely, that the Democrats will be in full 100% power, unless you're cheating somehow, but then that'll be figured out at that time. There's a rumor that Harris won. Possible. Well, you have Elon Musk, you have Ellerson, you have all these people that are computer geniuses. Who knows what they do? Right. We agree. But again, they were not tradition. The trend is to throw people out of office. So again, they threw you out when they didn't like you. Now they threw Biden out. They don't like him. And of course, they already don't like Trump. So it's only a matter of time. If they could impeach him, they would. I'm not just speaking about the Senate and the House, people. Right? Nobody's going to. You're not going to get the real data. Right? People don't speak out. It's possible. It's possible that election was somehow stolen. Any election. I mean, look, my life was stolen, so an election could be stolen, right? But what you're doing now is you're setting yourselves up for failure. Because at a certain point, a judge can rule you. I mean, it's obvious to the entire world that you are using the threat of an investigation against Christie because he said something that you don't like. And this isn't the first time. So, in reality, that case against, what's that guy's name? Bolton, that might get thrown out in within 6 months. Especially if you walk into court and characterize it a certain way. The Abrego Garcia case, you're lucky you're getting rid of it because you're characterizing it falsely. The judge already told you that. Right. Right. And I'm sure you'll go into court and you'll say Abrego Garcia MS-13, and the judge will say, I told you, and then throw the case out. Right. You got rid of all your people that knew how to do this type of stuff. Right. Just like the stupid Marshal Service. Oh, but we're rich and we died rich, but you're all in hell now today after your death, aren't you? Right. Thanks, Larry. No, because the techies don't want anybody capable in the government, in law enforcement. Right. Honesty and capability will get you thrown away. I got to admit, in the beginning, they kept people that were capable to a certain degree, right? But will be dishonest. Well, it's like a paranoid Roman emperor. That's what they're like. Anybody that has capability is a threat to them. Anybody that has intelligence, anybody that is honest is a threat to the techie fraud. No, the techies and corrupt cops took over the world, and corrupt spies. And that includes their private sector, cronies. They stole the majority of the technology they marketed. Right. Agreed. Oh, sour grapes, that's your protection today, sour grapes? I finally heard something from the pipsqueaks. So again, you need to just start focusing on the mission at hand instead of the bullshit. Abrego Garcia is nobody. I mean, if I really look at how you treat real criminals versus Abrego Garcia, I'd have a problem with that. Most of the public don't know. I mean, the public would have a problem with that. I do have a problem because he's not who you say he is. And the real criminals are out there doing whatever the hell they want because they paid off somebody $2 million or $3 million, right? From other countries. They bought a visa and a citizenship, right? You're not going to touch them because they're part of your criminal enterprise. No doubt. Techie sex traffic, no doubt. Right. But we're social Christians. Social media Christians. Well, the Democrats bucked them because it became too much for them. The corruption became too much. Not to say Democrats aren't corrupt, but again, picking on little nobodies and stealing their whole life away and calling them dirty. They went after the Republican Party as Christians. and other conservatives while they held wild, naked orgies. Right. Well, now you're all like, 50, 60, 70. You're not having, I mean, I don't know. Elon might have, might have a bevy of women. He might be like Leader Kim, right? Different woman every day. Bring me the women. I want to impregnate and make a child. Yeah, just send Leon up there. He'll populate Mars. As it sits today, nobody can leave the planet successfully and live for an extended period of time. There's nobody who can leave for an extended period of time and live. So again, it's that fantasy. Oh, you'll be okay. You'll fly away. So again, you need to get Trump to stop speaking about it. You need to stop focusing on that and just get over it. Somebody says something to the media and you threaten them with investigation. I mean, that's bizarre. I mean, it's prosecutable. Everything you're saying is prosecutable. Maybe you figured out a way to cheat. I don't know. Maybe that's why you're so cocky, all of you. But I guarantee it, if you did cheat, it's not going to be so easy next time. They're going to be watching everything. Right. See, they're focused. The amount of time you focus everybody on somebody putting ballots in a box makes me think there's something else there. Again, shifting the focus from where it really is. That's an MO of the deep state. No, the techies are deep state from day one. They had probably invented the deep state. Right. All the billionaires run a deep state organization with a deep state spy force. Right. So again, the judges can hold you in contempt. They can do all sorts of things. If you engage in prosecutorial misconduct, what usually happens is they recommend it, an investigation to the attorney general. I don't know what they're going to do. Right. I imagine if the House or Senate becomes Democratic Party, they'll take it up. But the judge can charge you with prosecutorial misconduct. It's supposed to be investigated, but right. Brega Garcia's case was getting close. The judge already sent a signal that the characterizations were false. Oh, you have to get past a judge to actually go to trial. Right. So again, it's not what you all think. And this idea about rogue judges, there's Democrat, there's Republican. You had Judge Cannon who totally protected Trump. So again, you get benefit from it also. That's why that's the part that people don't trip out over. Yeah, the system's weird. Yeah, the system can be corrupt sometimes. But you get advantages of it, and then you point when somebody else gets advantage. That's you're the holier than thou, which makes me think you're deep state, all because that's the MO of the deep state. Correct. Thank you, Larry. Well, I would just focus on the cases. I mean, you burned your bridges with Democrats. You're not going to get them to pass any major bill, right? Outside of maybe a budget or something. But it's just like the hostage situation. You're so full of yourselves that you screwed everything up. Thank you, Larry. There are ways to do that so that would work. Now, bipartisanship, anything but bipartisanship screws the people. I'll tell you that. Not to say you're not doing something that's needed. It's just you screwed up the bigger picture and the greater work that could have been done. We definitely need immigration laws changed. They're not going to change them at all. Right? I mean, I don't know if they will anyway, because Donald Trump told them not to change them before. Right? So they'll probably do the same thing. Now, the whole thing, like their plan is going to slightly backfire because there's Republican states that get the benefit of legal immigrants, right? And when it comes to census, so I don't think it's actually going to do much of anything other than if you were to do it and it was accepted by the court, it would reduce the number of Congress people we have. But I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Well, I guess maybe liberal districts or whatever. That's, I guess, the redistricting question, right? But again, Democrats will do the same thing. They've been doing it for years. Everybody gerrymanders. Everybody knows that. When you have the power, you gerrymander. Right. It's like they're all acting like, oh, this is the first time we've ever encountered this. Right. Gerrymandering. Okay, you call it redistricting. Okay, I'll call it redistricting. Yeah, courts are political also. No, Brago Garcia is really a nobody. To think how you treated El Chapo's family, or I guess it wasn't the Trump presidency, but how you treated El Chapo's family compared to how you treat Brago Garcia, it's insane. Right. And there's others too. I mean, the system is totally out of whack. Dirty ass people all over Kansas. Disgusting filth. They make Jussie Smollett look like a Boy Scout, right? Right. Mm. So again, you're building this, and again, the judges may know. You judges may even be setting you up. And again, if DC Metro Police stood down and didn't do anything, like, say you're going to handle it because you're all so wonderful, the entire city would fall apart. Right. But they could still hold their own if you went back and away. Remember, everybody's looking at it like, okay, what's the real? What really do we see? I mean, if they took this before and they for whatever reason, I mean, again, mischaracterizations, propaganda, that's what's being seen. Agreed, Larry. Let's agree, Larry. I mean, all they have to do is let them be deported to, you know, the whole thing is you let them be deported to Uganda. They have no right to incarcerate them in Uganda. Right? There is no such mechanism in the United States where you can send them to Uganda and say, put them in prison. Right? If they put them in prison, the judge can hold you in contempt and put you in prison. It's coming. I believe it is. Right? No, if a judge orders you in prison, I don't care who you are, you go to prison. The Marshal Service will pull you and put you in prison and go, oh, you're who? Who'd you say you were? Because now you're inmate number so and so, so and so. There's no conflict. There's no constitutional crisis. The judge holds you in contempt and you're held in contempt. It's historical. Right. Thank you, Mary. I guess Marshal Service is prisoner. Well, it's just the court has already found that you mischaracterized Abrego Garcia. Now, before you say anything about a rogue judge, partisan, political, what do you think you're all doing? I mean, this is the point that people don't get. If you're political and they're political, okay, but don't talk about it all day. How they're political and you're just saving America, saving the children, just like the deep state says. Well, it's gonna burn people out, and they're just gonna, I mean, it's gathering steam. Right. Now, I'm sure there's people that in the Republican Party that are part of your thing that want you to go in another direction, and they're hoping you have trouble. They really do. Because there's no discipline. It's all anarchy in the government. Yeah, I don't think anybody can do anything to stop his deportation. But if you're going to play something screwy and have Uganda put him in jail and do a CIA, oh whoops, I didn't know. They're going to get you. Right. So what's going to happen? You deport him. I mean, he's got so much backing, put him on a plane somewhere else. Unless they want him, unless they want him to sit there and go, "Oh my God, look what they're doing to him." All right. Like I say, you could be in Spain with him like 12 hours, a few hours, whatever it is. We're sitting in Spain shipping juleps with a congressman if they want. All we got to get you to do is put him out of your custody. Right. But it's not worth it. You're lunatics with no ability to see the future. You got money. That's all it is. You got money. You got a lot of devils, man. This world's run by devils. That's all it is. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, I mean, you get rid of them. You don't have to go into court and go. Your prosecutor doesn't have to go to jail. Right. Well, the court says you don't have evidence that he's MS-13. That's what the court says. There's an official finding in a court that you don't have evidence that he's MS-13. That would never have happened, you know. If that U.S. attorney you fired handled it, he'd have been brought back. They'd have said, "Yes, Your Honor, we're working on it." Okay, Your Honor, we took care of it. Okay, bye. I mean, the ignorance. Alina Habba, they're 5 minutes of fame. You actually said that? You, of all people? Right. Well, she's appointed to a position. She has capable people under her, but she's not a capable attorney. Everybody knows that. Right. I mean, she's not the only U.S. attorney like that. So I'm not going to say that she's any worse than anyone else. Right. But again, it's not 5 minutes of fame. They're on the bench for life. Some of those judges have been around 20, 30 years. While you were still going to law school, they were deciding international cases. Right. So again, let's get back to reality instead of some propaganda bullshit like so. Oh wait, was that being heard? Was I being heard? It felt like it pulled down a little bit. Was I being heard? Yeah, I guess I was being heard. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.